Hello everybody, this is Phil, and I'm doing a memorial to Eric Deppe, my best friend growing up. When I was 10, 11 years old, 12 years old, I finally found his spot again after not visiting for a few years, and I wanted to memorialize him for being the best of friends. He was dealing with a dysfunctional family, a mixed family coming together. And the abuse he experienced was at the hands of his mother and the extended male in the family, where he became the black sheep of the family itself, and his siblings would never be treated harshly as he was treated. A little bit older, I want to say early teens, mid-teens, and often he would show up at my house, best friend in the world, and we enjoyed all our adventures, and he would have a beer on him almost every time, drinking to escape. He would tell me all the stories of the abuse going on from his family and how harsh his mother was to him when he ran away, and he ran away often. And he also had a big tree fort in the middle of Lake Accotink woods he would run to in the middle of winter. He didn't care how cold it was. He would survive there. When I came back from the military in 1986, boot camp, because I was National Guard, I was going to college right out of boot camp. People said he died, and I thought he might have froze to death in the woods of Accotink. And I found that tree fort since then in the early 90s, and it was still there, but it was rotting away because not as many people and kids would go play in the woods anymore. And all these memories came back about the abuse that he would speak of, and that's why he started his road of addiction and drinking. And unfortunately, he passed away. What transpired was it wasn't a suicide like a lot of people said. He was experimenting with LSD and other drugs with his wife, who was an enabler in Arlington. And when he was hallucinating, he fell out of a window thinking he could fly 4 stories. He was a strong guy, too. He was very strong. He was part American Indian and part Anglo-American. And they took him to Washington Hospital Center, and he survived 5 days to 6 days later, if my memory serves me right. Well, anyways, no one comes and visits Eric Deppe in his gravesite, and his testament was that he was a great friend. He would do anything for you and give you the shirt off his back so you weren't cold, okay? He didn't try to get me to drug. He didn't try to get me to drink. Okay? And heck, I think we've all experimented in one way or another, young, sipping alcohol that our parents drank in front of us. Okay? But he was not welcome in his own family. And when the abuse started to pick up even worse, he would run away longer and longer, hardly ever to return. And I told him, one of the last conversations we had, come to school, come to Annandale. We'll have a blast. You know, he's a couple years older than me, and we'll have fun. It will work out. You know, I was dealing with the same thing, a dysfunctional, abusive family myself. And Eric would have done anything for anybody helping them. He was such a good guy and didn't deserve the abuse that he carried for years later, experimenting with drugs and medication and prescription pills and alcohol and LSD and mind-altering substances regardless. And he didn't commit suicide. He was taking drugs I want to say he was trying to get high, like most people do, to escape the pain of abuse. And his wife helped him take LSD. And the police report basically clears the rumors up. He did not commit suicide. It was more like a bad drug, if you want to call it that. but he was trying to escape all the abuse his family caused. And I never see his family here. I probably wouldn't recognize them if they come up to this gravesite. But I spoke to his niece, and the correspondence there was all the truth. Eric Deppe was a good guy, and he was suffering abuse at the hands of his strict mother and her new husband, and the other children, a little younger than Eric, were not abused. And they took it all out on Eric. So those graves that are hardly ever memorialized, I get that. Generations pass away. But Eric Deppe should forever be remembered as a good young man, a good kid who didn't have any safety net. We think of therapy and drug rehabilitation and all kinds of psychiatric medication we can take nowadays. That's the easy way. You still have to deal with those demons head on. Experience that pain so you never have to return to it again. And that was not there for Eric, especially from his family. But Eric Deppe, you are family to me, and I miss you, brother. 40 years later, I love you like a brother, and you are my brother. And I really appreciate you. You are gone, but you are not forgotten. God bless you, my friend. Love you.